Hi YouTube, welcome to another episode of Pixel Thoughts. Today I want to talk about hair. And we're going to color this this cactus thing with a little heart on it. So recently I had my hair straightened after spending about 5 years only wearing natural hairstyles and braids. Part of the reason why I stopped getting a perm was because the crown of my head, I had some severe breakage. And part of that is probably because my sort of restoration of the pH balance of my hair after doing my home perms was very meh. And see, that's the thing about at home perms is that even though I've been getting perms since I was about 13 years old, I still, the things that you can't really do at home without having a secondary person there to just eyeball it and make 100% sure that you restore the pH balance of your hair is just, it's really hard to do your own hair. It requires a level of effort that I realized I just and also COVID happened, so that kind of made it impossible to get to a salon as well. But the reason why I want to talk about hair other than this experience is that as a Black woman, our hair is politicized. It's policed by other Black women, which is one thing that I actually really hate is how much we police each other about our hair. And then within this sort of renaissance of natural hair, there has also become a sort of self-righteousness amongst people who have natural hair versus people who still chemically treat their hair, aka get perms / relaxers. Funny story, when I was in my freshman year of college at NYU, my white roommate had no idea that there was a different term for relaxers. So when I asked a lady who worked, she was a Black lady, if she got her hair relaxed, and if she had any recommendations for hairstylists in the city while she was there, she was like, "What are you talking about? Relax? Are you trying to get a massage? What's going on?" But the thing about hair and Black women's hair being aggressively politicized and aggressively policed by not only each other but also other people, because the way that our hair grows naturally, a lot of people automatically assume that it is unkempt or not combed or not styled, while the same hairstyles deployed on straight hair, nobody has a problem with it. And this is something that I kind of really got annoyed about with my own hair journey, was this constant pressure for my hair to always be done. In the same way that I have a lot of issues with beauty politics and attractiveness politics, and knowing that I kind of lost the lottery when it comes to those things, it really pisses me off that you can't just have hair when you're a Black woman. You can't just have your hair and not have it also become this whole huge piece of your identity. I didn't have the words to explain it when I was just starting out in my sort of radicalization journey, but I tried to explain it once on Facebook that I had this aggressive fear of having short hair or having no hair because of how often Black women with short hair or no hair becomes like the butt of everybody's joke. You know, it's just that Project Pat song, bald head scallywag, ain't got no hair in the back. Like, yes, was it hip hop genius? Sure. But it also is like, it hurts my feelings that you can't just have short hair and that be your existence as a Black woman. It has to also come with this, well, why is your hair short? Is it because you can't grow it? Is it because, you know, you don't take care of it? Why is your hair short? Meanwhile, you have people like my mom who love her short hair because she doesn't want her hair blowing around in the wind. And it's like a matter of, she just doesn't want to feel her hair blowing in the wind. Whereas other people, you know, have this idea that only long hair is beautiful, especially on Black women. Like, I want to say maybe like a couple of weeks ago, there was all of this discussion about how even within the natural hair community, there is still a lot of texturism, right? There's still this belief that long hair that is semi-straight or less curly, aka not like an afro, is more desirable than a short afro. And we all know shrinkage exists because the hair texture, the coily hair, tightens up. So hair length also becomes politicized because of desirability politics, and it makes me mad because I'm just like, why is there, even in movements designed to uplift Black women's hair in its natural state, still is placed under these like constraints and things you have to adhere to? Like I was saying when I started this train of thought, I am very afraid of having short hair. And I've always been jealous of like women who have, you know, extremely long hair. So like one of my favorite things about having braids is like, is the first time that I could experience long hair and the, I guess, desire. And then I get mad at myself because I'm like, well, why am I adhering to these desirability politics when I know that it's pretty much all BS? Like, I guess ContraPoints really said it when in her beauty essay, it's like, is all of this going to stop me from getting surgery and, you know, aggressively investing in my physical appearance? No, I want to be a pretty little rich girl. And so the thing becomes like, even though I know the existence of these systems are designed to make me feel insecure about the way that my hair looks and is naturally, I still want, you know, to be desirable, to be beautiful, to feel beautiful. And this also, I constantly go back and forth about this because there is a lot of vanity that comes with aggressive self-interest in physical beauty, right? Like, I know there's nothing inherently wrong with wanting to look aesthetically pleasing to your own eye, but it never happens in a vacuum, right? Like, the length of my hair is only desirable in my mind in a vacuum, but outside that vacuum, I know that the 40-inch bust down is the quote-unquote beauty standard of the current hot girl Black baddie. And it's funny because we all know it's a wig, and we know it's not real hair, and yet it's still preferable to, my shoulder length, but also aggressively shrunk when curled space buns. I don't know. I say all this to say that it is extremely frustrating to exist in the world as a black woman. I mean, there's a reason why that statement from Malcolm X, the most disrespected person in America is a black woman, is the truth. Because we are racialized and we are, brutalized by our gender at the same time. And so, we know that the quote unquote Western beauty standard that is pressed upon us is why we felt the need to aggressively have straight hair. And then you have, YouTubers and stylists now saying straight hair is kind of necessary for maintenance and treatment. Like, you can't just live forever in curly hair. Honestly, that stylist that I'm thinking of right now, I probably should unsubscribe, because every video that she posts recently, it kind of has like a fear-mongering message around how you need to, I guess, divest from whatever natural hair myths you heard during the whole natural hair movement, because they're wrong and this is the scientific proof. But the scientific proof that she puts forth is very rigid, and we know that scientifically hair is not the same for everyone. There are a lot of different factors that contribute to how one takes care of their hair and how one wants their hair to be presented. Like, her whole ideology is, in order to have healthy hair, you need to do XYZ. And I'm just like, okay, but healthy hair is also a concept that can't be rigid for everyone, because we know the concept of health in general is not owed to anyone. Like, there are people who are disabled, such as myself, who can't be healthy by some societal standard. Like, I'll just never be the perfect picture of health anymore. My spine is broken. And you can apply the same thing with hair. There are people with hair conditions like alopecia, and Jada Pinkett Smith's whole bald head caused the Oscars to have a breakdown. So, when you consider all of these things, fear-mongering about some need to have your hair look and feel a certain way and in order to be healthy doesn't work as a concept either. Anyway, it's all just very frustrating, and I really wish that I could live in a world where I didn't have to think about my hair so aggressively and have it be political, In some ways, that is the benefit and beauty of having chemically treated hair, is that you get to essentially wake up like this. And then, of course, there is the class element to all of this, right? Like, if you're Beyonce, you can afford to change your hair every single day and do it in a quote-unquote healthy way. You can afford to have a team of stylists constantly in your head and, giving you treatments and all of this thing. But if you're not, if you are a part of the, many people in the United States who are black women struggling to make ends meet, you can't afford to go to the hair salon every week. And it's between, eating and having desirable hair, I think they'll probably choose eating. And so I have to say, what do you say to those women who, healthy hair, and this concept of healthy hair, they can't reach it because class wise they can't afford it. And we all know that in a capitalist society, these products that they want you to use are also suffering from the pink tax, right? Like, women's hair products cost more than men's hair products, even if you look on the back and you see that the components of the products are pretty much the same. Like, shampoo and conditioner, pretty much the same. And I learned this from skincare, honestly, that like, if you're trying to sell your shampoo as some wonder drug, it's like, there's just no way that that's true, because shampoo does not stay in your hair for a long enough period to make a major impact, the same way that cleanser does not stay on your skin long enough to make an impact. And this is why I didn't fall for the whole you need to use sulfate free shampoo, natural hair girlies, because I'm just like, that can't be reality, because you need to clean your hair because your hair gets dirty. Same way your face gets dirty. Like, you can't just wash your face with water. You need certain chemicals to clean it, to lift dirt and sebum and all of that jazz. So, anyways, in all of this, I just sit here and I wonder, what am I going to do with my hair in the future? Sometimes I really understand Doja Cat when she said, I'm just gonna shave my head, because I'm tired of having to both think about my fashion and my hair. And Doja Cat's situation is a perfect example of how politicized your hair becomes as a Black woman, because she shaved her head for a very straightforward, simple reason. She didn't feel like dealing with her hair anymore, and everyone turned it into a commentary on her mental state, which Doja Cat is a problematic figure, I know, on her own. You don't need to look to her bald head to make any assumptions about her mental state. Just watch one of her IG lives. But it's just so frustrating and exhausting, right? You just want to live. Living as a Black woman in the United States in particular really just is exhausting and frustrating, because everything you do is politicized and everything that you are is under a microscope, even when you don't want to be. There was a recent study that showed that Black women in the workplace are perceived to be more aggressive and disagreeable the more quiet they are. So, like, if you're introverted, you seem like you're not a team player, and like you don't care to be a part of the workplace. And I'm just like, dang, we can't even be quiet. We can't even be introverted without it being turned into like, oh, she doesn't like us, what have you, whatever. It's like, some people just want to go to work and do their job and go home. I don't know why everything has to be a party. And then you don't see the same. It's like, oh, Sarah Beth or whoever comes to work, she eats her lunch quietly, and then she goes home, and it's no problem. Sarah Beth is getting that promotion. Meanwhile, a Black woman just, happens to be more direct, and suddenly she's angry and aggressive. Or if she is overly nice, now she's a Jezebel and she's flirting with whomever and has no respect for these men's wives or whatever. It just sucks, honestly, to constantly think about how other people are perceiving you. And girl, I already have social anxiety, so the fact that I have to deal with that in predominantly white spaces as I try to progress in a career path that may not exist anymore, to be quite honest, it's exhausting. You just want to live. You just want to, you know, be a person, a human being, without having to be under a microscope. And I think part of, you know, the whole re-emphasis on microaggressions in politics and culture is because that stuff adds up over time. Like, imagine spending your life 10 years at a company, you get ready to get promoted, you feel like you've earned it, and you know, because you're a woman, you've probably earned it, but you're gonna make yourself train harder just to prove it because you're a woman, and then they don't promote you because you're not a team player. And then when you think about it, it's like, I am a team player. I collaborate with people well. I just don't want to be friends after work. Why is that a penalty? It's exhausting. That's all I can say. Anyway, if you're a Black woman listening to this, I say, you know what, just do what you want. Find a way to find peace with yourself and just do whatever the hell you want, because we're damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you have thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next one.